Caroline DeFreitas. I'm the HR director for Soho Medical Doctors.
Hi, I'm Falana Galalayo, one of the HR generalists.
Hi, and I'm Antoinette Brown, one of the HR generalists for Soho MD Doctors.
And today is another episode of More Than HR Mondays. Today's topic, we are talking about friends and family and referring them, and a little bit of nepotism and how to avoid that within any institution. Antoinette, I would like to highlight you are a new member at Soho Medical Doctors in the HR sector as an HR generalist. So welcome, Antoinette.
Yay, thank you.
Very welcome. Today, because of today's topic, we did want to talk about a little bit of friends and family, because this kind of stuff really comes up for organization. When you really love your company and you think everyone's doing just great work, you want to be able to refer your friends and your family members. So I have some fun tips and tools for everyone, and I will begin with Falana. So Falana, if you don't mind sharing with us, what are some tips and tools when hiring relatives or friends?
You definitely want to make sure that you have a company policy for pretty much everything, but beginning from hiring all the way up to the promotion, like how are we going to go about processing promotions? How are we going about the hiring process? And you also want to make sure that you have written job descriptions for every employee. That way you can hold everyone accountable, and everyone's on an even playing field, and there's not that there will be none. There may be some concerns still, but at least you know that you're trying your best to avoid things like nepotism in your workplace.
Absolutely. And what about yourself, Antoinette? What are some of the tips and tools that you have?
A couple tips and tools that I would like to share is making sure that if you do refer family or friends, you want to make sure not only that you're following the HR policy, but that you are keeping them separated at work. And you don't want to have a sister reporting to her sister. You want to make sure that direct reports are not related to who they are supervising. You don't want to cause any favoritism or conflicts of interest within the departments. So you just want to make sure that, family and friends are reporting to someone outside of their family.
Absolutely. That's really great. And just lending on to what Falana was saying, talking about, the job description, making sure qualifications, competencies are in there, degrees are in there. And then the HR policy, we have an HR policy that we follow, and that does not, it does not change. It is for everyone, friends, family, relatives, anything going on there. We just make sure that we have this HR policy. So we do, we do ask that all HR professionals really think about this and ensure that, your company is following suit and making sure that everyone is equal and has equal opportunities. But let's have an open dialogue, guys, because it comes up. Because we're sitting in HR, everyone wants to say that we can hire folks into our institution. So let's talk about that. What have you guys seen? What do you do? I've had a bad experience before with referring, and I've thought twice, and that was during my college years. And so for me, what I do, and especially where I'm sitting in, I make sure if it is somebody that's really great and I do want to refer, I would have multiple different interviews with different members, colleagues within the department, because you'd want to make sure your decision is not skewed. So what are some other things that you've seen in terms of referring for yourself?
I've had an experience. Oh, I'm sorry, Falana. Please go ahead.
No problem. Go ahead, Antoinette.
I was just going to state that I did experience, and this was many, many years ago. I was still high school student, and did childcare part-time and was working for a childcare director. And my sister, she wanted, to come and hang out and help the kiddos as well. And I thought like, oh my gosh, that would be so awesome to work with my sister. And I didn't, question skills, education. I just thought like, wow, it'd be cool for us to hang out at work together. And I referred her, and they assumed that I had questioned her skills in education, and I didn't. And, she was hired, and it was nice to have my sister working at the same location, but she did not, she did not have the skills, the education, and the drive, the passion. I believe anyone that works with children should want that position. And I believe she just saw it as an opportunity to work with her baby sister. And we would, be there and hang out together, and she got a ride to work every day with me. But because those skills and that passion wasn't there, it reflected in her work. And of course, because I referred her, it reflected on me as well. And so I just kind of, remember that, going back to high school and thinking to myself, as much as I really enjoyed working with my sister, I don't think I would want to have a negative reflection following me for referring someone who wasn't qualified for the position. So that has been a lesson learned for me.
And Jeanette, thank you for your honesty and vulnerability of sharing that. I know that was like way past in the years and in high school, as you stated. My question to you is, did that inspire you now to then become, an HR generalist and to be in the HR sector?
You absolutely hit the nail on the head, Carolyn. It did inspire me. Because I thought, I would love to be a part of an organization who not just enforce policies, but who kind of create them and come up with them to protect the organization. Policies are to protect the organization as well as the employees. And so that definitely inspired me. Like, how could I have been more competent to say, oh, let me check this policy over here just to make sure that I can hire my sister and that we can teach in the same classroom. So absolutely. Yes, ma'am, to your question.
I love it. I love it. Philani, do you have some examples?
Well, I actually have a positive example. My wife works for an organization, and she was able to bring my sister on board, and it worked out. So my wife is a manager, so she did have to make sure that my sister was working in a different department. That's very important. You don't want any roll down or to have any influence on that. But she actually did a really great job, and that reflected positively on my life. So that was a really good experience. So I would definitely say, if you have a large enough organization where you are able to completely separate someone by even further than department, different units, different whatever you can do, that would be best case scenario. I do know in one of my previous positions, we had a president who wanted to bring someone on board who they were related to. And they had to go to just a completely different department. And of course, they were allowed to peek in and be like, is it going well? Because this is important. But it was very, very separate. So I think that that's a huge deal, and that helps a lot.
I love that you both displayed the positive and the negative. Like, I love that we just displayed that, because that's the truth, right? The truth is that you can have referrals that turn out really well, and you can have referrals that turn out not so well, right? And it's just knowing the blend of that, making sure that you're aware, and this isn't just for us, this is for everybody, making sure that you're aware that you notify your referrals of what the job entails. You notify your referrals of, asking them for their resume to look and verify the competencies. HR will do that because it's a policy that's in place. But because you are referring, I think everybody, whether you're sitting in HR or not, if you're referring someone, you should really look at their resume and make sure that this person is reliable, committed, it matches well with their career path plan. You've manifested that this could work.
Absolutely. With making sure that it's on their career path plan, you want to make sure the person's actually going to stay. That also does not reflect very positively on you if it's not aligning. Yeah.
we're definitely not
Yes.
saying that you can't do it, right? We are not saying as an organization you can't refer and you can't have a relative or a friend. We're just saying be mindful of making sure those members are qualified. Make sure that you understand what is nepotism, and that leads to favoritism, right? Really researching. And I actually have a link that I'll share with everybody that goes over, it's from Indeed, that talks a little bit about these areas from an HR perspective, but for a referral perspective of knowing what your company should have in place. And if your company doesn't have it, you don't have to be in HR to say, hey guys, I noticed that you don't have job descriptions. Maybe we should have some proper job descriptions, helping out your company in that way, because it's all towards the growth of the company and the organization. Thank you guys so much, because this is kind of like it's a tough topic. It's a tough topic. We're sitting at HR professionals. People always think that we can give everybody a job. We can't. We have to follow the same policy and procedures like everybody else, if not harder and stronger, because we are sitting where we are. So
not only can I not do this personally for you, I also have to pass it off.
Yes.
And they may be even harder. Yes.
Multiple times.
Yes.
Multiple times. So definitely thank you guys so much for watching. Keep watching. We're now on YouTube. I want to keep sharing that. So if somebody does not have LinkedIn, you really want them to get this content, please let them know they can view our videos on YouTube. Antoinette, welcome to the team. Welcome to having you here at Soho MD. And Philana, as always,
thank you.
Cheers, guys. Happy Monday.